Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Ashok IT. Today, we are here to discuss about AWS Cloud. Today is our first session for AWS Cloud. So today we will understand what are the prerequisites to attend this AWS Cloud and what we are going to learn as part of this AWS Cloud course and what is the duration, what are the timings and all that stuff. In order to attend this AWS Cloud Concepts, the prerequisites is Linux basics. You need to have some basic understanding on Linux operating system. Prerequisites, Linux basics. So anyone who is already comfortable with Linux, happily they can continue with the AWS Cloud. Suppose if you are new to this Linux platform, I will share my previous batch Linux videos. You can go through that and you can understand some basic concepts of Linux. All right. Now, coming to our AWS Cloud course, what we are going to learn as part of this AWS Cloud. As part of this course, first we are going to understand what is infrastructure. What is infrastructure and what are the challenges companies are facing with the infrastructure? On-prem infrastructure, on-premises infrastructure. So if you want to run one software company or if you want to run one software project, what infrastructure that is required, right? That we are going to learn. And earlier, companies used to set up infrastructure on their own. That is called on-premises infrastructure. Then we are going to understand challenges with the on-premises infrastructure, challenges with on-prem infra. Then we are going to understand what is cloud computing. What is cloud computing and what are the advantages with the cloud. And the next one, we are going to learn cloud service models. Now in the cloud service models, you might have heard about infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. Those are called as cloud service models. What is infrastructure as a service? What is platform as a service? And what is software as a service? Those things we are going to learn as part of these service models. Then after this, we are going to start with AWS introduction. What is AWS? AWS stands for Amazon Web Services. What is this AWS Cloud and why we are going to use AWS Cloud as part of our projects? Then we are going to see AWS account setup, and AWS services overview. What are the services that are available in the AWS Cloud? What is the purpose of each service? We are going to learn. Then after, we are going to start our journey with AWS Cloud from EC2 service. EC2 service stands for Elastic Compute Cloud. EC2 stands for Elastic Compute Cloud. By using this EC2 service, we can create virtual machines in the AWS Cloud. In order to run our application, assume that I need 10 computers. Instead of purchasing the 10 computers physically, we are going to take virtual computers for rent. How to take computers for rent? In the AWS, there is a service called EC2. EC2 stands for Elastic Compute Cloud. By using that, we are going to get virtual servers. Then after, we are going to learn EBS, volumes, and snapshots. So now for every computer, some storage will be available. Whenever you purchase a computer, you will get a hard disk and you will get the RAM. Hard disk is used for storage, RAM is used for processing. Similarly, whenever we take one virtual machine in the AWS Cloud by using EC2, for that machine, some storage is required. For EC2 instances, storage will be provided by EBS, Elastic Block Store. So volumes, nothing but storages, snapshots, nothing but backups of the volumes. So in my Linux machine in the AWS Cloud, I will take a Linux machine. In that machine, I will store some data. To store the data in the machine, EBS volume will be available. for safety purpose, I want to take my data backup. To take the backup of our volumes in the AWS cloud, we are going to use snapshots. After this, we are going to learn about LBR. LBR nothing but load balancer. How to distribute the load among multiple servers when we are running our application. If you run our application in one server, burden will be increased on the server and application will go down. So in order to reduce burden on the server in the AWS, we are going to use a concept called load balancer. After this load balancer completed, we are going to talk about auto scaling. So auto scaling, ASG. Auto scaling nothing but based on the demand, we should be able to increase or decrease the resources. Based on the demand, I want to increase or I want to decrease the resources. For example, my application running on 10 servers. If more number of requests are coming to my application, my servers count should be increased. If less number of requests are coming to my application, my servers count should be decreased. Automatically, scale up and scale down should happen for our infrastructure resources. That's where we are going to use auto scaling. EC2, EBS, LBR, ASG, these all comes under EC2 service in the AWS cloud. EC2 stands for Elastic Compute Cloud. EBS nothing but Elastic Block Store. It is used for storage purpose. Elastic Block Store. Okay. Volumes and snapshots will be available. Volumes are nothing but storage volumes. Snapshot nothing but backup of the value. Load balancer. LBR. In the AWS terminology, we will call it as a LBR, load balancer, which is used to distribute the application load. The next one, ASG, nothing but auto scaling group. Automatically, my server's capacity should be increased and server's capacity should be decreased. Okay. Now, so here, once this EC2 concepts got completed, then we are going to learn about S3. We are going to learn about S3. S3 stands for Simple Storage Service in the AWS Cloud, which is used for unlimited storage. Okay, I have so much data in my company. I want to store my data securely in the cloud platform. In the AWS, we are having a service called S3. S3 stands for Simple Storage Service. It is used to store unlimited data in the AWS cloud. S3 is used to store unlimited data. Any amount of data from anywhere you can store in the AWS cloud, and whenever you want, you can retrieve the data from the AWS cloud. So not about GBs or TBs, any amount of data. There is no limit for that. How much amount of data you want to store, that much data you can store in the AWS cloud by using S3. That is used for unlimited storage. Then next one, after this S3, we are going to learn about RDS. RDS is used for relational databases. For every application, database is mandatory. It can be a Oracle or MySQL or Postgres. Instead of we are maintaining the database in our system, it's better to go for cloud database so that AWS will manage our database. AWS will manage security for the database. AWS will manage database backup, database restore, and all that stuff. If I set up the database in my computer, I am responsible to maintain security. I'm responsible to maintain backup. I'm responsible to maintain disaster recovery. So instead of we are taking that risk, we will use AWS cloud provided database, which is called RDS. RDS is a service in the AWS cloud, which is used to set up relational database in the AWS cloud. Okay. Then after, we are going to talk about DynamoDB. So that DynamoDB, it is a NoSQL database. How we have MongoDB, NoSQL database. Similarly, if you want to work with NoSQL database in the AWS cloud, then we are going to use this DynamoDB concept. Then after this, we are going to learn about EFS service in the AWS cloud, which is Elastic File System. So now I have some files. I want to share my files with multiple EC2 instances. If I want to store some data in one system, directly I can store it by using value. But I want to share my files with multiple EC2 instances. That's where we are going to use Elastic File System, which is also called as EFS. Now, After this elastic file system got completed, we are going to learn about IAM, which is identity and access management. Identity and access management in the AWS cloud. So that means which users can log in into our AWS cloud account and what operations they can perform in our AWS cloud. So in the company, they don't give you access for all the services available in the AWS cloud as part of company AWS account. So based on your role, they are going to decide what you can do in the AWS cloud account that is provided by the company. So that's where identity access management comes into picture, which is IAM service in the AWS cloud. Then after, we are going to talk about AWS CLI, AWS command line interface. Now, you can log in into AWS cloud account from the web. You can log in into AWS cloud account from the web and you can create the resources, whatever you want in the AWS cloud. But if you don't want to use this AWS login page to do the operations, then you can go for AWS CLI in order to set up the infrastructure in the AWS cloud from the command prompt. You can set up that AWS cloud resources from command prompt by using AWS CLI. Are you guys getting my point? Then after, we are going to talk about VPC, that is virtual private cloud. This is most important concept in the AWS cloud. So here, AWS cloud is going to provide isolated network for the resources. If you want to secure your resources in the AWS cloud, then you need a VPC. VPC stands for virtual private cloud. So once it is done, then we are going to talk about cloud formation in the AWS cloud, and we are going to talk about CloudFront in the AWS cloud, and we are going to talk about Route 53 in the AWS cloud. Cloud formation, here go infrastructure as a code. I want to create infrastructure in the AWS cloud by writing some code. That's where cloud formation comes into picture. Similarly, CloudFront we are going to use and Route 53 we are going to use. CloudFront and Route 53. So these all are the services that are available in AWS cloud. Okay, so once all these services got completed in the AWS cloud, then we are going to learn about Terraform, that is having lot of demand in the market. Then after, we are going to learn Ansible. Okay, Terraform is a third-party tool which is used to provision infrastructure in the cloud platform. First, we are going to learn how to create infrastructure in the AWS cloud manually. First, we are going to learn how to set up infrastructure in the AWS cloud manually. Then after, we are going to learn how to set up infrastructure in the AWS cloud from CLI. Then we are going to learn how to set up infrastructure in the cloud by using Terraform. Then configuration management, we are going to perform by using Ansible. Terraform is used for infrastructure provisioning. Terraform is used for infrastructure provisioning. Ansible is used for configuration management. So these two, the purpose of both tools is different. Okay, so every DevOps engineer should have the idea on Terraform and Ansible. Terraform is used for infrastructure provisioning. That means in the AWS cloud, I want to set up my project infrastructure. Instead of I'm doing the infrastructure manually, we are going to set up the infrastructure by using Terraform. Then next one is Ansible. What is the purpose of Ansible? Ansible is used to manage configurations in our machines. I have 100 machines. I want to install Java in 100 machines. I want to install Python in 100 machines. Instead of connecting to 100 machines and installing Java manually, we can do this by using Ansible. We can automate our infrastructure configuration by using Ansible software. And I want to create database in the cloud. I want to create S3 bucket in the cloud. I want to create EC2 instance in the cloud. Instead of I am creating the resources manually in the cloud, I can go for Terraform. Terraform is used for infrastructure provisioning. Ansible used for configuration management. So with this, our AWS course will be completed. So these the prerequisites, you should have some basic knowledge on the Linux. Anyone who is not aware of Linux, I will share my Linux videos. There are 7 videos available on the Linux. I have taken in the previous batch. Those videos already there in our YouTube channel. I will share in the WhatsApp group also. You guys joined in the WhatsApp group now. Today I will share those Linux videos. Anyone who is not aware of Linux concepts, so you need to go through those Linux videos because Linux knowledge is required to learn these AWS topics. Okay, so to get those Linux videos, join in the WhatsApp group. I have given WhatsApp group link in the chat box. After this class is completed, I'm going to share those Linux videos in the WhatsApp group. Got my point? Good. So the prerequisites is just Linux basics. That's it. Then course content. As I told you, what is infrastructure? What is on-premises infrastructure? Challenges with on-prem? What is cloud computing? Advantages with the cloud? Cloud service models. So this part that we are going to learn. Then after, we are going to start with AWS topics. What is AWS cloud? Why AWS cloud became more popular in the market? What are the services available in the AWS? What is the purpose of each service in the AWS? So we are going to learn EC2. EC2 is used to create virtual machines in the AWS cloud. EBS, which will provide storage for the EC2 instances. The next one, LBR. LBR is used for load balancing purpose. So to distribute the load to multiple servers, we are going to use LBR. Auto scaling, ASG. Based on the demand, I should be able to increase or decrease the resources of our application. The next one, S3. S3 stands for Simple Storage Service, which is used for unlimited storage. RDS. RDS stands for Relational Databases. Then next one, DynamoDB. So DynamoDB, basically, it is a NoSQL database. Basically, it is a NoSQL database. Then EFS. EFS stands for Elastic File System. EFS stands for Elastic File System. That means whatever the files that you have, if you want to share the files with multiple machines at a time, if you want to share the machines with if you want to share the files with multiple machines at a time, then we are going to use Elastic File System. Got my point? Then next one, we are going to talk about IAM. What is IAM? What is IAM? Right? IAM stands for Identity and Access Management. IAM is used to specify identity and access management. Okay. Then AWS CLI. AWS CLI, which is used to create the resources in the AWS from the command line. Then VPC stands for Virtual Private Cloud, which is used to provide isolated network for the resources. So to secure our resources in the AWS cloud, we are going to use the network provided by VPC. The next one, CloudFormation. Instead of creating the infrastructure in the AWS cloud manually, we are going to use some code that is called CloudFormation. Next one, CloudFront. CloudFront is used to speed up our content delivery network. Content delivery network. Now, our application running in the machine, which is available in the US. So the people who are accessing our application from India, some network latency is available. To speed up our application delivery process or to speed up our application access, right? So the content delivery, we can speed up by using this CloudFront. The next one is Route 53. Route 53 is used for DNS mapping. My application running in the AWS cloud, I want to map it with a URL. Now, so here we are able to access several applications by using their URLs, gmail.com. When I access gmail.com, I'm able to get that project. How? The website is mapped to gmail.com. That's where DNS mapping comes into picture. So we are going to implement DNS mapping for the project by using Route 53. Along with this, we are going to learn AWS Lambdas, guys. So nowadays in the industry, people are using AWS Lambdas. These are used for serverless computing. I want to deploy my application without thinking about server. Then we are going to use AWS Lambdas. AWS Lambdas are used to run our application without thinking about the servers. That is called serverless computing. That is also very, very important in the AWS cloud. Elastic IPs, they will come under EC2. Types of IPs, what is public IP, what is private IP, what is elastic IP, what is security group, what is key pair, they all comes under EC2 service. Okay, so AWS Lambdas we are going to learn. Route 53 we are going to learn. Route 53 is used for domain mapping. Then after this, in the AWS, to monitor our resources, we are going to talk about CloudWatch. So there is a service called CloudWatch in the AWS cloud, and there are services like SNS, notification service, SES, okay, simple email service, simple queue service, simple notification service, like this. There are some small services available in the AWS cloud. So around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, around 15 plus services we are going to learn from AWS cloud. Around 15 plus services we are going to learn from AWS cloud. Once those concepts are done, then we are going to learn Terraform. What is a Terraform? Terraform is developed by HashiCorp company, which is used to create infrastructure in the AWS cloud. So currently in the industry, companies are using Terraform to create infrastructure in the AWS cloud. Not only in the AWS, Terraform supports multiple cloud platforms available in the market. By using Terraform, you can create the infrastructure in the AWS, in the Azure, as well as in the GCP also. So here, I want to create a database. I want to create storage. I want to create some network for my application. Instead of you are creating that manually, you can create it by using Terraform. Terraform is used for infrastructure provisioning in the cloud platforms. And the next one, Ansible. What is Ansible? Ansible is providing configuration management. What is the meaning of configuration management? Configuration management, nothing but I want to install several softwares. I want to copy the files from one machine to another machine. I want to install or uninstall the required softwares in several computers which are belongs to our project. So that configuration we can automate by using Ansible. Ansible is used for configuration management. All right. So this is what our course content that we are going to learn for next 40 days of time. Are you guys clear? Are you guys clear with this one? Good. So once you are clear with the course content, now course information. Okay. For DevOps people, for 13 DevOps and for 14 DevOps people. So this is part of your course, guys. You don't need to bother about the fee structure and all. Now, the course information, as I told you, the course name, it is AWS Cloud Course. I'm giving the code as 13 AWS. Okay. So the course name is AWS Cloud 13 AWS. So this is not only AWS with the Terraform and Ansible. We are going to teach AWS Cloud along with Terraform and Ansible. And the duration of the course, it is going to take 45 days of time. And the class timings, so daily, the class will be there from 8 p.m. to 9:40 p.m. or 10 p.m. So I'm planning to take 2 hours class per day. 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. IST, the class is going to happen. 1.5 hour class will happen. Then after doubts clarification will be available. Got my point? So the course name is AWS Cloud. I'm giving the code as 13 DevOps. Duration of the course is 45 days. Timings 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. IST. The classes are going to happen. 1.5 hour class and 1.5 hour class. 1.5 hour class, and then after doubts clarification will be available on daily basis. And regarding these notes, soft copy material topic wise we are going to provide. Soft copy material will be provided topic wise. So for EC2, a document will be provided. For S3, a document will be provided for you. Similarly, for every topic that I'm going to discuss in the class, for every topic-wise, soft copy materials we are going to provide. Topic-wise, soft copy materials we are going to provide. Then after, videos. Okay, backup videos will be available. Backup videos will be provided with 1 year access. You are going to get the backup videos with a 1 year access. After the class is completed, video will be uploaded within 24 hours of time. So if the class is completed today video will be uploaded by tomorrow morning. By tomorrow afternoon, that video will be available for you to watch. Backup videos will be provided with 1 year access. From today, the next 1 year, the backup videos access will be available for you. Good. Now the complete course fees. So you are going to get this course for 10,000 rupees, including live classes plus backup videos. So this course fees and all for the DevOps people not applicable. You are already part of DevOps with AWS. Okay. So the people who want to attend only this AWS cloud, for them, the course fees is 10,000, including AWS, Terraform, Ansible. Live classes and backup videos also will be provided for you. Okay, so these notes, whatever I'm typing, I will share in the group after the class is completed. Linux videos and these notes I will share in the WhatsApp group. WhatsApp group link I have given in the chat box. So if you want to attend the classes, if you want to continue, then you can join in that WhatsApp group so that you will get all the updates related to the class. You will get all the updates related to the class. Able to understand? All of you comfortable with all the information? Sir, what is the fees without videos? So videos will be provided. If you want to take the videos or not, the course fees is 10,000. Okay. Now, all right. Good guys. So shall we start with the topics now? I hope the content is clear for you. You're good with prerequisites and course content. Name of the course, duration, timings, whatever the class notes, whatever the backup videos, and about the fee structure, we are good. All right. Yeah, fine guys. Let's get started. So before going to start with the AWS cloud, first let's understand what is infrastructure. What is infrastructure? Suppose if I want to start one school, I need to purchase some infrastructure. I want to start one school in my colony or in my city. I want to start one school. If I want to start a school, I need to purchase some infrastructure required for the school. Like I need to purchase boards, I need to purchase some tables, chairs, some duster, tables, and all that stuff I need to purchase. So this is infrastructure that is required for school setup. This is the infrastructure that is required for school setup. Like this, you can see in the image, board, tables, chairs, markers, dusters, etc. Lot of infrastructure we need to purchase, and we need to take one room, and we need to take some people in order to manage all these tables and chairs stuff. Okay. Similarly, if I want to start one hotel, then again, I need infrastructure related to hotels, like building, power, ACs, tables, chairs, plates, spoons. So like this, we need to purchase all this infrastructure, then only we can start hotels. Okay, so for school, we need some school related infrastructure. For hotels, we need some hotel related infrastructure. Similarly, if I want to start one software company, similar to the school hotel, if I want to start one software company, then I need lot of infrastructure. So in order to run one software company, we need a lot of machines. Computers are required. We need servers, web servers, application servers, database servers, load balancers. We need a network. We need power. We need storage. We need security, and we need monitoring. We need big building. We need AC for those room. We need security guard for the room, and we need power for the room. Lot of things are required. Then only we can run a software company. So the things that are required to run our software company are called as IT infrastructure. So machines are required, servers are required, database required, load balancer required, network required, security, power, storage, monitoring. Lot of things are required. Then only we can run a software company, or then only we can run a software project. So the things that are required, the items that are required to run a project or to run a company is called as IT infrastructure. So as we have seen, for the school, we need some infrastructure. For hotel, we need some infrastructure. Similarly, to run a software company, we need lot of infrastructure. So this is called IT infrastructure. Now, here guys, when we go for this IT infrastructure, so I need to spend lot of money in order to take a building. A big building is required to maintain the machines, servers, security, and all that stuff. I need to invest a lot of money, then only I can set up this IT infrastructure. Now, even if I spend a lot of money to set up this infrastructure, still there are some problems. What are the problems? How do you achieve security? Example, assume that in high-tech city, you have taken one building. In that building, you set up all your infrastructure, your servers, your machines, your database, your project, everything you are storing in that room which you have taken in the high-tech city. What about security? What about privacy for your data? What about privacy for your machines? What about scalability? Right. So if you go for IT infrastructure, if you purchase all the infrastructure, there are some challenges involved. So there are some management related issues will be available when you set up infrastructure on your own. So you need to purchase the computers, you need to purchase servers, you need to purchase network, you need to purchase power, you need storage, you need to maintain security, and you should be able to monitor your infrastructure. You need people for that. You need a building for that. You need security for that. So lot of things you need to manage, lot of money you have to spend in order to maintain the infrastructure required for a company. So if you set up infrastructure on your own, then what are the some challenges involved? The challenges, first one is security and privacy. How can you secure your machines? How can you secure your servers? How can you secure your data? So that is going to become biggest challenging task where for the companies who are maintaining their own infrastructure. And the next one is scalability. Scalability means today I need 10 computers to run my project. Tomorrow there is an offer in my project, 50% offer is available. So today my project is accessing by 10,000 people. So for 10,000 people, I am having 10 servers. But tomorrow, big billion day available in my project, 50% offer, 1 lakh people will access my application. To serve the request, to serve 1 lakh requests, I need extra 10 servers. How can you increase your servers count? How can you decrease your servers count immediately? That scalability will become problem. So based on the demand, I need to increase my servers or I need to decrease my servers. So that is called scalability. So managing scalability of our application is very, very difficult when we are having our own infrastructure. And the next one is availability. Availability means 24/7, your servers should be up and running. 24/7, your application should be up and running. You cannot say that today heavy raining there in Hyderabad, so power cut, our computers cannot run, our project will be down. Can you tell that to the customer? Due to heavy rain, our servers are not running. Due to heavy rain, network is available. Can you tell that to the client? Due to heavy rain, today there is no power, hence our servers cannot work. No. So how do you manage that availability of your application? How do you manage security of your application? How do you manage availability, scalability of our application? If network is slow due to rains, how do you manage that? And some earthquake happened in that area, your building collapsed, your machines collapsed. Then how can you recover your machine data? What is your plan for disaster recovery? How do you handle poor network issues? How do you handle availability, scalability, and security and privacy of your infrastructure, of your applications? So these all are the challenges that are involved. These all are the challenges that are involved when we are working with our own infrastructure. So if we are managing infrastructure required for the project, that is called on-premises infrastructure. So if you set up infrastructure on your own, if you want to set up infrastructure on your own, you need to spend a lot of money. First thing, you need to invest a lot of money to set up your own infrastructure, and you need to set up a lot of people to manage your infrastructure, because one person cannot manage everything. One person cannot manage everything. Security team is required. Okay. Network related team is required. Disaster recovery team is required. Configuration team is required. Administration team is required. Monitoring team is required. Troubleshooting team is required. A number of people are required if you want to manage infrastructure on your own. Even if you have taken a lot of people and even if you invest a lot of money, what about these issues? Scalability, availability, poor network issues, disaster recovery. So that is the reason because of these issues, companies are not preferring on-premises infrastructure nowadays. If I maintain the infrastructure on my own, I need to focus more on the infrastructure. I cannot focus on my development. I cannot focus on my business. I cannot focus on my development. I cannot focus on my business if I am managing my own infrastructure. If I am managing my own infrastructure, I cannot focus on my development. I cannot focus on my business growth, because every day I will stuck up with these issues only. Today there is a rain, network is not coming. Today there is power cut, power is not there. Okay. Scalability, more number of users are accessing our application in the peak times. Our servers are not sufficient. I cannot purchase more servers. Even if I purchase, if customers are not accessing our application, I can't sell my servers immediately when I don't want. N number of headaches will be available. That is the reason nowadays companies are not interested to manage the infrastructure on their own. That's where cloud infrastructure comes into picture. Instead of we are managing our own infrastructure, we are going for cloud infrastructure. So now, in order to run your software company or in order to run your software project, there are two options. One is go for on-premises infrastructure. That means purchase everything, set up everything, manage everything on your own to run your company, to run your project. That is called on-premises infrastructure. Instead of going for on-premises infrastructure, if you don't want to manage all the things on your own, you can go for cloud infrastructure. If you go for cloud infrastructure, some company will provide the resources required for your company. So whatever the machines you need, whatever the databases, security, storage, monitoring, everything that cloud provider will take care. You just use their services to run your applications. You just use their services to run your applications. Are you guys able to follow me? Are you guys able to follow me? Are you guys able to follow me? Huh. So here there are two ways to run our company, or there are two ways to run our project. One is by using on-premises infrastructure. Second one is by using cloud infrastructure. One is by using on-premises infrastructure. Second one is by using cloud infrastructure. If you go for on-premises infrastructure, there are some challenges available. You need to spend a lot of money to purchase that infrastructure, and you need to set up a lot of people to monitor your infrastructure. So that's the reason nowadays companies are preferring cloud infrastructure. What is the meaning of cloud infrastructure? Whatever the servers, network, security, power, storage, everything will be provided by cloud provider. We can just focus on our project development. We can just focus on our business growth. We don't need to bother about the infrastructure when we go for cloud concept, cloud computing. If you don't want to go for cloud computing, then everything you need to manage on your own, everything you need to purchase on your own. So there are some challenges involved. To overcome those challenges, nowadays companies are preferring cloud platforms. So there are several cloud platforms available in the market, like AWS, Azure, GCP, Alibaba. Like that, there are several cloud platforms available in the market. Okay, the company which is providing the services through web, they are called as cloud provider. Now, AWS is cloud providing by Amazon. Amazon is a cloud provider. That means to run your company, whatever the infrastructure required, you no need to purchase that. You no need to manage that. Cloud provider will take care of it. Cloud provider will give you the infrastructure for rent. I need 100 computers for 1 month. Instead of purchasing 100 computers, you can take 100 computers for rent through internet. That is called cloud computing. I want a database for 2 months. Take the database for rent in the AWS cloud for 2 months. Then pay for only 2 months. Pay for use. It is like a postpaid bill. It is like a credit card bill. First you use the service, then monthly basis you pay the rent for that. So if you go for this cloud, the advantage is you no need to spend any investment. You no need to spend crores of rupees to purchase the infrastructure. You no need to spend crores of rupees to recruit the people and to pay the salaries for them. Not required, because everything will be taken care by cloud provider. You just pay the rent for the cloud provider for what you use. If you use 10 machines, then you pay only for those 10 machines. When you don't want, you can return them back. So on demand basis, you can take the resources from cloud provider. That is called cloud computing. So nowadays, almost all companies are migrating to cloud infrastructure because they don't want to deal with such kind of management issues. If you go for cloud provider, just pay the money, use the services, or use the services and pay the money for them. Management will be taken care by them. You just focus on your project development. You just focus on your business development. So that is the reason people are going for cloud computing. Are you able to understand what is infrastructure and what is on-premises infrastructure and what is cloud infrastructure? Are you guys able to understand what is infrastructure, what is on-premises infrastructure, and what is cloud infrastructure? What is infrastructure, what is on-premises infrastructure, and what is cloud infrastructure? What is the meaning of infrastructure? Infrastructure nothing but the resources that are required. Infrastructure nothing but the resources that are required to run our business. Now, on-premises infrastructure means everything you need to purchase and everything you need to manage to run your company or to run your business. So here, investment is there. You need to spend money to purchase and you have to manage the things also. So there are some challenges available when you go for on-premises infrastructure. Security, privacy, scalability, availability, network issues, disaster recovery, n number of problems will be available. To overcome these problems, we are going for cloud infrastructure. Now we have two options to run our company. Go for on-premises infrastructure, you purchase everything, you manage everything. If it is risk, then better to go for cloud infrastructure. Happily, we can use the services which are managing by cloud provider. You pay the rent for using their services. So what are the advantages are available when you go for cloud computing? So first of all, what is cloud computing? Cloud computing is nothing but delivery of resources over the internet with pay as you go pricing. That means whatever the infrastructure that is required, instead of we are purchasing the infrastructure, we can take infrastructure for rent from the cloud provider. Instead of we are purchasing the infrastructure, we can take infrastructure for rent from the cloud provider. So that is called cloud computing. So what is cloud computing? Cloud computing is the on-demand delivery of resources over the internet with pay as you go pricing. What is the meaning of pay as you go? If you use, then only you pay, like a credit card bill, like a postpaid bill. In a cloud computing also, you no need to do any upfront payments. You no need to spend any investment. You use the services whatever you want, and how much you use, for that much you need to pay. That is called pay as you go pricing. That is called pay as you go pricing. Instead of buying, owning, maintaining the data, you can access them through internet. That is called cloud computing. Can you guys read it? What is cloud computing, guys? Can you guys read this? What is cloud computing? What is cloud computing? Come on, guys, respond in the chat box. What is cloud computing? It is the process of delivering the resources over the internet with pay as you go. So taking the infrastructure for rent is called as cloud computing. What is the meaning of pay as you go? What is the meaning of pay as you go? What is the meaning of pay as you go? You pay the money for what you use. You pay the money for what you use is called pay as you go. What are the advantages are available when you go with cloud computing? Can you read the advantages with the cloud computing? Cloud computing advantages. Pay as you go. That is the first advantage. That means whatever the infrastructure you need, you no need to pay for that. Immediately, you don't need to do any payments. You don't need to invest crores of rupees. Whatever you need, you use it. After you use, then you pay for that. That is called pay as you go pricing. Like a credit card bill, debit card bill, something like pay as you go. Whatever you use, you pay only for that. Then low cost. The cost is also very less because you are not purchasing, you are taking for rent. Simple example. When there is a function in your house, you need 500 chairs, you need 300 tables. Are you going to purchase them for your function? Suppose your marriage function is there. Your marriage function is there. For the marriage function, you need 500 chairs and you need 300 tables. Are you going to purchase them for the function or you will take it for rent? Which is easy, purchasing or taking for rent? Taking for rent. Similarly, here also, whatever the infrastructure we need, instead of we are purchasing, we are going to take for rent. So cost is less. Scalability. Whenever you want, you can increase. Whenever you want, you can increase. When you don't want, you can decrease. When you want, you can increase. Today, I want 20 servers. Tomorrow, I want 40, 50, 60, 100. How many you want, you can increase. When you don't want, you can return them immediately. So scalability will be available. Based on the demand, you can increase or you can decrease your resources. Got my point? Availability. 24/7, our infrastructure will be available. So AWS will never say that power cut, network issue and all. 24/7, your resources will be available. Got it? Scalability means increasing or decreasing based on the demand. Availability means 24/7, they will be available. Reliability. So the infrastructure we are taking from the cloud will not fail. Reliability, nothing but strong, long time. Reliability, nothing but strong, long time. Security. So whatever the resources you are using in the AWS cloud, security is our responsibility or it is AWS responsibility? Security is our responsibility. Security is AWS responsibility. Security is AWS responsibility. They will take care of it. Storage, unlimited. How much data you want to store, you can store that. There is no limit on that. Backup. So your data backup will be available. If you delete by mistake also, you can get it back from the cloud provider. You can maintain data backup also in the cloud. So if you go for cloud computing, these many advantages available. Pay as you go, low cost, scalability, availability, reliability, security, unlimited storage, and backup. So that is the reason nowadays companies are preferring AWS or any cloud in order to manage their infrastructure. Earlier, people used to set up infrastructure on their own. Over a period of time, they realized that if we are managing the infrastructure, we need to take care of a lot of things. We are responsible for everything. We need to focus on the infrastructure. We need to focus on the development. We need to focus on the business also. So that's why let's not bother about the infrastructure. Let us take infrastructure for rent. Let us focus on the development. Let us focus on the business. So that's where cloud computing became very popular in the market. That's where cloud computing became very popular in the market. Are you guys clear with my point? Are you guys clear with my point? Are you guys clear with my point? Very good. So there are so many advantages available with the cloud computing. That is the reason companies are preferring the cloud. That is the reason companies are preferring the cloud platform. Okay, good. Now there are so many cloud providers available in the market. Who is providing the resources over the internet? So the companies which are providing the infrastructure for rent, they are called as cloud providers. Now in the market, there are several cloud providers available like AWS, Azure, GCP, Salesforce. These all are cloud platforms. AWS managing by Amazon, Azure managing by Microsoft, GCP managing by Google, Salesforce, the company name itself, Salesforce Cloud. Like this, there are several cloud providers available in the market. In this course, we are going to learn AWS Cloud. In this course, we are going to learn AWS Cloud. All right. So from tomorrow, we are going to understand what is AWS Cloud and what are the service models that are available. Okay. So tomorrow we'll talk about what are the service models available, what is IaaS, IaaS, PaaS, SaaS. Then we'll start our discussion with cloud, AWS Cloud, and AWS services. Okay. Salesforce is a cloud. It comes under platform as a service. Sorry, it comes under software as a service. Salesforce comes under software as a service. It is a cloud provider. So today is the first session. So we are done with the basic introduction part. What is infrastructure? What is school infrastructure, hotel infrastructure, IT infrastructure? What are the challenges if you go with IT infrastructure? What are the options available to run the companies? What is on-premises infrastructure, on-premise infrastructure? What is cloud infrastructure? What is cloud computing? What are the advantages with the cloud? What are the cloud providers available in the market? Tomorrow, we are going to talk about cloud service models. Tomorrow, we are going to talk about cloud service models. Once it is done, then we are going to start with AWS Cloud in the tomorrow session. Okay. Now, so the people who are new for this AWS, please join in that WhatsApp group. I will share the video and I will share the notes and I will share the steps to create account in the AWS Cloud as well. So everybody should have account in the AWS Cloud. How to create account in the AWS Cloud? That means basically we are going to create one free account in the AWS Cloud. To complete this course, free account is sufficient, guys. Okay. To complete this course, AWS free account is sufficient. How to create free account in the AWS Cloud? Within 2 minutes of time, you can complete your AWS account creation. I have given one video in our channel regarding AWS account creation process. I will share that video in the WhatsApp group, which I have shared in the chat box. If you join in that, you will get that video. So I will show you here AWS account setup in 2 minutes. So if you want to attend these AWS classes, you need to create the account in the AWS Cloud. How to create account in the AWS Cloud? Free tier account, no charges. That I explained in the video. I will share this video in our group. So please join in that group so that you will not miss these kind of updates. All of you join, please confirm. So before coming to tomorrow's session, everybody should have account in the AWS Cloud. Before coming to tomorrow's session, everybody should have account in the AWS Cloud. Agree? Everybody should have account in the AWS Cloud before coming to tomorrow's session. So how to create that? I'm going to share that video. Good. Fine, guys. So with this, we are done for today. I'm stopping now. We'll meet again tomorrow. at the same time 8 p.m. with the same Zoom link.